Hi everyone, how's it going? What I have for you today is a strengthening class in a flow style. What you need are 2 blocks and your favorite practice space. If you don't have blocks, that's totally fine. This class is, you're able to do this class without it, but I always suggest having props, right? So once you're ready, let's get started standing at the top of our mat. Find Tadasana, a tall, neutral stance. Close the eyes. Withdraw from your external environment, right? Start to pull all of your senses, everything that you're noticing, everything inward. Pay full attention of what's going on inside of you. Move your attention onto your breath. And take a few deep inhalations and exhalations. These breaths initiate the start of your practice and help draw your attention and intentions to this very moment. When you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes. Take your hands onto your hips. Soften the knees, right? But keep the legs strong, and then shift your weight onto your right foot. We're going to take a big step back with the left foot, slightly hinge forward, come back to a lunge. All right, reach out through that back heel to keep that back leg straight and strong, and then lift the arms up overhead. All right, press out through the front heel to straighten the leg, and then rebend for a lunge. Press out through the heel to straighten, and then rebend. Once more, straighten, and then bend. Hinge at the hips, take the hands to the ground, step the foot back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Your choice if you want to take chaturanga to up dog or lower to the ground for bhujangasana cobra. But choose your back bend. And then exhale to down dog. From the inner thigh, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it forward. Look forward and lengthen. And then step forward, fold into the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms up to stand. Take your hands to your hips. Shift your weight onto your left leg. Right, hinge forward, step it back to a high lunge. Take your time when you arrive in your lunge. Right, find evenness in hips. Right, reach out through the back heel, keep that back leg straight and strong. And then take the arms up, right? If this ever feels unstable for you, you can also take your stance wider, right? Left foot more to the left, right foot more to the right. Press out through the front heel, straighten the leg. We're gonna do the same thing on this side, right? So bend, and straighten, bend, right? Stay upright in the trunk, and straighten, and then once more bend. Right, hinge at the hips, lower with a flat back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank, and then your choice of a back bend. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg. Step it forward. Look forward and lengthen. Step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Lift the trunk, lift the arms. Hands to your hips. Soften the knees. Step back for a lunge. Take the arms up. Straighten the front leg. And then rebend. Straighten. And bend. And then once more. Bend the knee. And take the hands down. Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Your choice of a back bend. And then exhale back. Down dog. This time we're going to hop forward to the front of our mat. So step the feet in about an inch or two. Bend the knees. Take the gaze forward. And then as you hop forward, think of bringing your hips over your shoulders. And then land in a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms up. Hands to the hips. Step the right foot back. Find your high lunge. And then straighten and rebend. 1, 2, 3. Hands to the ground. Down dog. Inhale forward to plank. Find your back bend. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk the feet in a few inches. Bend through the knees. Take your gaze forward. Right, just in between the hands. And think of bringing your hips over your shoulders. Fold into the legs. Lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms up. Draw a prayer to your heart. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Sweep the arms up. Dive and fold forward. Bend the knees, plant the hands under your shoulders, right? Bend the elbows, start to wrap the upper arms in towards the body, right? Keep the keep your shoulders over your wrists, right? As you bend the elbows, hop back to a chaturanga. If you can't do chaturanga, hop back to a dog. And then hold your chaturanga. Hold, 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 or meet us up in plank. And then lower down to the ground. And make your way onto your belly. Lift the right leg, lengthen it back. Lift the left leg, lengthen it back. Right. So you have 2 long straight legs, toes pointed, right? And that inner line reaches from the pelvic floor out to the big toe. Stack the hands, rest your forehead on the backs of the palms. Right. Find a neutral spine. So elongate the low back. And then check in with the shoulders, right? We have structure here, but we want softness in the neck, the tops of the shoulders. So everything's freeing up the space between the neck and the head. All right, with these long straight legs, we're gonna lift the right leg from the inner thigh. Right? It can be a small lift, it can be a high lift. Wherever your range of motion takes you, just keep the leg straight. Right? If you notice that you're bending in the knee, then go a little lower, but you want to keep the integrity of the form. And then go ahead and lower it down. And then alternate to the left. So from the inner thigh, lift that long left leg up. Right, anchor down through the hips. Stay soft in the trunk. And lower it down. So we're going to alternate. Lift the right. And lower and then lift the left. And then in a moment, we're going to bring both legs to meet, hovering off the floor. Right, I'll tell you when. That's just where we're going. All right, so give me one more round. And then have both legs meet on the ground. Keep that form. All right, and then from the inner thigh, lift both legs up off the ground. Again, straight legs, so maybe you need to come down a little lower to keep the legs straight. And you're just going to lift both legs up at the same time, any amount that you can. All right, give me one more. Hold up at top. And then lower it down. All right, soften, but keep your form. All right, soften the muscles, but keep everything straight, pointed, so that this way it'll just be easier to go back in. All right, go ahead and remove the hands, bring them down by your sides. All right, palms face up towards the sky, and just rest your head on the mat. We're gonna move into the upper body, right? So we're gonna use the legs to anchor down. All right, so on your next inhale, lift the chest, lift the head up off the ground. We're not going full range of motion, but just kind of like a halfway lift, right? Gaze stays on the mat. Hands are hovering. And then you're just going to press the hands like you're going to touch the ceiling, right? So you're just going to press, press. So when I say, you're going to rest everything down, arms, chest, head. Give me one more. Hold up at the top. And then rest everything down. All right. Take a breath. You're doing great. All right. We're not going to stop here. So after you collect yourself, re-engage all of your muscles. Right, lift the shoulders, the heads of the shoulders, so they're moving away from the midline, right? So chest is broad. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift everything up. Legs, arms, chest, head, gaze is going to stay at the floor. So inhale, lift. You're just going to hold here. Breathe, stay steady in the breath. Get longer through the legs, the fingers, the neck, the head. Just feel your body pulling every which direction, but all of your innards are super strong and stable. And then exhale, lower everything down. You can take one cheek to the ground. And then switch cheeks. Come back to center. Plant the hands by the ribs, right? Keep those upper arms wrapping in towards the trunk. Right, tuck the toes. Right, reach the tailbone down towards the heels and either press up to all fours or straight up to plank. Bring the knees down. Sit back on your shins. And then bring the hips to one side and your legs out forward. Have your blocks close by. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and make your way onto your back. Find your neutral pelvis. Lift and lengthen the back of the head. Take one block on its narrow width, right, and place it in between the thighs. Right. Feel into your feet. Right. Feel into all four corners, but then feel this lift, right, that same lift on the inner line of the leg that we did everywhere else so far. By hugging the block, lift the hips up evenly off the ground and roll up onto the shoulder blades, or the tufts of the shoulders. So hug the outer hips in. Reach everything on the back body in towards the front of the body. And then without going too far, so we want to keep all of our weight like up on the highest part of the shoulders right now, right? So we're just going to lower down so we keep that weight exactly where it is, and we just kind of start to hinge at the hips, right? So repress the hips up to straighten, right? And just notice, are you shifting your weight in your shoulders and on your back, right? As long as the weight stays on the upper part of the shoulders, then we're good. All right, so lower down and then take it back up. Just a few more like this. Press into your feet, right? Use the strength in the backs of the legs to keep everything lifted. You've worked so hard to get here. Give me one more. Hold up at the top. Make this your longest bridge yet, right? So reach from the chest, out from the inner thigh, out through the knees. Repress through the feet, re-lift through the back body. And then slowly lower down, right? One piece at a time. And then eventually bringing the sacrum back to the floor. Remove the block. Draw the shins in towards the chest. You can take your hands on your legs. Bring your attention to your low back. Allow everything to soften and spread. Get deeper in your breath. Rock from side to side. Come back to center. Lift your head up towards your knees. Right, lift the chest, then lift the head. So you keep the spine long. And then lower the chest, lower the head. Lower the feet. Straighten the right leg. Straighten the left leg. Take your hands to your sides. Take a long, deep breath in, down to the belly. And then an evenly long exhale out through the mouth. Breathe in deep. Breathe out deep. One more like that. So if you can stay here in Shavasana, you can stay as long as you'd like. If you have to come up with me, roll onto your right side. Use your arm as a pillow and pause for a round of breath. Press your hand into the ground and slowly make your way up to sit, head and neck last. Take a few more deep inhalations and exhalations. Let this breath symbolize a completion to your practice. Go ahead and open up your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. My name is Desiree. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, I would love to hear from you. So enjoy the rest of your day.